Hello, and welcome to Lifetime Uncorked, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I'm your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
I'm Alex Moorman.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, you are.
That's right.
Hi, Alex.
Hello, Patrick.
How are you?
I am wonderful. It's beautiful outside right now.
I know,
It's a beautiful
gorgeous.
day.
I have
We're here.
rosé.
Rosé all day.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Is this your first podcast ever?
This is.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah. How exciting.
I am stoked to be here right now.
This is
Well-
my first podcast too ever.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
You're doing a great job.
No, it isn't. So, Alex.
Yes.
Lifetime movies. I reached out to you, like a couple weeks ago, and I
Yeah.
was like, Alex would be perfect. Just as like whenever I talk to you, I'm like, Alex is really fun. But then you were like, oh my God, I love Lifetime movies. And I saw you at Annoyance, and then you were like, no, I like really love them.
I really do.
Would you speak about that, please?
Well, I grew up, like one of my three favorite channels growing up were MTV, Disney Channel, and Lifetime. And
Oh,
so,
okay.
like, I spent a lot of time in front of the TV. Just Lifetime movies just spoke to my soul. You know, you have
Yeah.
that family conflict, you have the growing up conflict,
Yeah.
drugs, you know,
Drugs,
religion, murder, abortion. It's like Degrassi,
Boom.
but for grown-ups. That's why I felt like,
Okay.
ooh, I really connected with this.
Yeah.
So I loved Lifetime movies, and I feel like in the last 10 years they've kind of gone downhill. I haven't really gotten into them, but this movie,
Yeah.
guys, it really did me in. It was
Yes.
wonderful.
And I think maybe you're just not checking out Lifetime Movie Network, because
Yeah, okay.
that's where all these type of movies live. And
Okay.
the movies that you're thinking of, like the are on like Hallmark, or not Hallmark, Lifetime proper.
Okay,
So they're
maybe
like a
that's it.
Saturday night 8 p.m. This is like a Sunday night 8 p.m. when you're drinking
Oh,
wine, the
yeah.
kids are in bed, you're gonna watch something a little trashy,
A little trashy.
a little scandalous.
Uh-oh.
Scandal.
Yeah.
Yes, the movie today that we are speaking of is I Killed My BFF, Preacher's Daughter. Because, Drew, there is a I Killed My BFF original.
Okay, yeah.
So this is not the sequel, but it's like it's like an anthology series, I think is what Lifetime's going for.
Of just like, I killed my BFF.
People who killed their BFF, yes.
Yep.
Both
Sometimes
of
you gotta kill that BFF.
Sometimes you have to go there. I don't
do.
think you understand. Like, it's
I don't think you
life and
get
death.
it.
both
This is
the
real life.
original Kill My BFF and Kill My BFF, Preacher's Daughter
Uh-huh.
are based on true stories.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this seems. I
Oh,
connected
yeah.
with this so hardcore. It seemed like it was real.
Yeah, so they're both based on true stories. They were actually both written by the same writers, so a team of writers, and the same director.
Okay.
So they're really pushing this angle. More on that later when
Okay.
I do my pour it up or put a cork in it.
Thanks.
So put that in your hats.
Okay.
So it is the Lifetime I Killed My BFF cinematic universe.
Yes,
They're
it
all
is.
connected.
It is. On IMDb, it's called Do Unto Others. And also in Canada, it's called Do Unto Others.
Yeah.
It stars...
That's a better title.
It
It is
is.
a better title.
Well, that...
Is
yeah.
it? Yeah.
You're right. Maybe it's not.
But like
But I-
Preacher's Daughter, like just Preacher's
I just,
Daughter.
well, I just feel like that title kind of gives away the thing.
It does.
I already, from the other title, the I Killed My BFF. I mean, he kind of gave
You
away
know,
the plot.
someone's going to kill the BFF. But you don't know who the BFF is.
You're right. I
You
don't.
don't.
I don't
So,
know anything about this.
This
movie.
stars
I didn't
Megan
see it.
West, Joel Gretsch, and Carly Pope. Carly Pope is somebody of note because she was in popular...
Yes, I'm so glad you brought this up. I was going to.
Really?
Yes, I was like, I had
Yep.
in my notes. I was like, was she in Popular? I have to ask Patrick. I was
was.
also obsessed with that
Okay.
show.
It was a
Late
show on
90s,
WB.
WB.
Early Ryan Murphy show.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very bitchy, very gay,
Very
friendly,
dark.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna almost didn't bring it up because I was like nobody watched.
Oh
that
no,
show.
I watched that
but
show.
Here
I
are
have
the
like
two people.
an active memory of
watched
that
it.
show, of like the bigger girl on that show, and one of
Yeah.
the whole episodes was dealing with her weight.
Sarah
and how
Rue.
and how she used to hide food under her bed, and it was like a whole thing. And I was
Yes.
like, I connect with that.
She's done a few Lifetime movies as
oh,
well.
okay, I need to look
so
up.
maybe we'll bring you back.
I do have to tell you, she was,
Carly Pope.
Carly Pope in a sci-fi.
Not surprising. She's very Canadian.
Oh yeah, Elysium with
Oh.
Matt Damon.
That sounds
Oh.
good.
Movie
Yeah.
Elysium.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
I did not see that.
So
Cool.
anyway,
Okay, so jumping into I Killed My BFF, Preacher's Daughter, Preacher's Daughter. We start off with a bloody girl outside of a church, screaming and crying, hysterical.
God, it was so intense.
It was very intense. And I was like, is this the end of another movie? Like, I was very
Me
confused.
too. I was like, oh, we're just getting into it, or maybe I need to give it a second.
Right. I'm like, this is clearly the end of something else.
Yeah.
But no, that was the beginning of the movie. And then we start off with like an intercut scene, very like, I don't want to say like good filming, but it was like kind of suspenseful because you see a woman, she's like chugging a flask and popping pills.
Yeah.
And her makeup's all messed up. She's crying, but it's intercut with a congregation, a church.
So just like a Tuesday for me.
Right?
Ew.
And this preacher's like giving a sermon. And
It was, on Sunday. It seems like a Sunday. Like she missed church to do this instead.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's a lot.
So
Seems
she's
like a lot more
somewhere.
fun.
And then we see like after the did you write what the sermon was about?
I feel like it was about, you know what it was about? I remember this. He goes, if we've all been tempted by the devil. You know, we've all had those times where you're going through the fast food drive-through.
Yes,
and
that's what
you're
it was.
talking to the cashier and you're like, it smells so good. But you know what? You need to resist getting that second burger. You know what? Because that second
that's the
burger is
devil.
devil. The
Don't be a
devil.
glutton.
Burger's the devil.
The devil.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know? So resist the wafts of fresh grilled
I couldn't agree
meats.
more. I couldn't agree more.
Okay. So after church, the preacher's standing with his redheaded daughter and his like greasy haired son.
Very greasy. And is like in like a Rick t-shirt sort of.
Yeah. And so he's like a bad boy and she's like pristine, beautiful.
Perfect.
Sure.
Perfect. And then like someone passes and it's like, where's your mom? Where's your mother? And she's like, oh, I don't know. So she like goes upstairs, opens the door, and then it's her mom, the lady who was chugging the pills and alcohol.
Okay.
Dead. Killed herself.
Cold. Like, and you can tell she's dead because her lips are blue. It wasn't like a point like, oh my God, I can revive her. Let me just do CPR. It was like, she's gone.
You're like, no, she's not there.
You know, it's like, it's
Gotcha.
done.
Okay.
So now we cut to another house in town, and it's a girl. Her name's Scarlett, and she's like a teenager. And I also thought the redheaded girl, the preacher's daughter, was a teenager because she looked very
too.
young.
And she keeps saying youth group. And I'm like, why are you, like, what's happening here?
But she's not young, Drew.
She's not.
So this is to clarify confusion because I
They're
was
drinking
confused for the
alcohol.
first half of the movie. Yeah. So Scarlett is the daughter of Ray. Okay. Ray is like a party mom.
a young mom. She's like a Lorelai Gilmore. She's like had a daughter when she was
Like,
16.
yeah, gotcha.
Young and cute and hot and just around town.
Yeah,
Sure.
so she's having parties and there's drugs and
Everywhere.
she wears a lot of eye makeup and her daughter comes home from like school and is like, Mom, why are you having a party? Like, it's Monday.
She's like, I wasn't expecting you to be home.
It's Monday at 3.
Yeah.
I was at school and now I'm
And
here.
now I'm home. And
Yeah.
she's like, I thought you were staying at your boyfriend's tonight. Like, what parent says that? I thought you were spending
Mom,
the night.
I don't have a boyfriend. What?
Well, she
Wait,
does
what's her name?
have.
No,
She does have a boyfriend.
Okay.
But
So
you should not be
Scarlett-
sleeping in bed with him
No.
on a school night.
Scarlett is like, I'm out of here, Mom. This sucks. I'm going to go live with my boyfriend. So she goes to live with her boyfriend. Ray is like, everyone get out of my house. The party's over.
But she says okay, which also got me. It was like, okay, you do that. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Parenting choices, right?
You know, that's just how it goes.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like how I would be if I was a parent.
Yeah,
I'd be
okay.
like, all right, dude, fuck off. I don't
Bye.
know.
So in contrast, we have
Leave me
Lily.
alone.
Lily is the preacher's daughter. So we see her life, which is perfect. So like everything's in its place. You know, her mom might have killed herself, but whatever. She's like keeping up appearances.
Literally. Every hanger is like white and like her entire closet is like color coded.
And this is Lily.
Lily, the
Okay,
redheaded
the
preacher's
redheaded.
daughter.
She like
Yeah.
puts her hair behind her ears like 4 times in a row. It's like very kind of an OCD, like ritualistic kind of lifestyle.
And we find out her greasy haired brother is her twin,
Yes, she does say that. And I'm like, how old are you?
and his name's Jason.
Okay.
So he's going to the bar and like he's not doing well.
No.
With this whole mom killing herself and just being a greasy haired teenager, but he must be in his 20s.
Because he's ordering drinks at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he meets Ray at the bar. the mom with the mascara and everything. So they start hooking up together. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the twin brother, Jason, and Ray, the mom, start hooking up. Now, you see how I'm having to explain all this to you, Drew, very, very much, because I had to watch this movie 2 times to understand what was going on, because I got misdirected so many times by, like, assuming that Lily was a teenager and thinking that Scarlett, the teenage daughter, was the protagonist and not the mom, but then the mom was the protagonist. It was very confusing.
So, okay, I'll just, this is just from IMDb.
Yes.
And they could have it wrong because they were confused also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, never mind. So, never mind, but like okay, so Scarlett and Jason are twins?
No.
Yes. Oh, no.
Lily and Jason
are twins.
Lily and Jason.
Scarlett is the daughter of Ray, who Jason and Ray are in a relationship.
Okay.
This is the third time we're explaining it to you.
Please listen to us.
It got me
That's
really
what I'm saying.
confused.
It's very confusing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Lily has a dark past, though. So she's living this pristine life, but back in the day, she used to smoke cigarettes.
And she keeps Polaroids of the time when she was wild, of like beer cans and smoking cigarettes and like, kissing boys on rooftops, like in a little like box underneath her nightstand. So it's like very like, remember the time when I used to live and do things.
Wild child.
I was a wild child.
And that they're Polaroids?
Right? Exactly. Like you don't have a Facebook. You don't have like electronically be able to do this. No.
Right.
Let me personally keep these physical.
Yes.
And also that's how creepy she's like taking Polaroids at a party.
Well,
Anytime. That would be weird.
It's like an artistic person does that, right?
Yeah. They were very
in like a 90s
photos.
movie. It would be
in like maybe, but even like a nowadays, wouldn't be like a Polaroid. Like what? That would have to be commented on within the movie.
Yes.
Be like, you're taking Polaroids? Where did you get that shit?
Yeah, someone was taking Polaroids like of her. It's a lot of her laying in the grass, like looking up and that, and
sexy.
like around boys. So like someone's documenting her life via Polaroids for some reason.
She has an assistant. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh God.
So she agrees to go out with Jason for a night out because he's like going to this bar all the time, hanging out with Ray. Mm-hmm. So she meets Ray and they start talking, and Lily tells Ray that she had wild days.
Yeah.
And she had to have an abortion when she was 17.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. She got pregnant.
And Ray's like,
who didn't?
Okay, cool.
Right.
So do you want to like do some shots or something?
Just to lose. Because she goes, she goes, isn't it hard to never let go? And Lily looks her in the eye and says, yeah, it is.
Do you want some shots?
Yeah, let's do some shots, guys.
Yes.
Let's get loose right now.
I like that.
So they embrace the dark side. They go to like a thrasher dance club.
Completely
like
underground.
Alternative music. Like, yeah. And they like pop like, I don't know.
Pop some pills.
EDMA or whatever.
They do pop pills.
Wait, EDMA is not a drug. Is that music?
That's MDA.
MDMA.
Whatever.
MDMA.
I don't do it. I don't care. But yeah, they do that drug.
Mixed martial
they
arts.
do EDMA.
They do some They do some mixed martial arts. But they also pop some ecstasy.
Some Zumba. They do some Zumba and.
But not before they do a bunch of ecstasy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So she goes out and then she's like wearing dark clothing and like this starts snowballing this party lifestyle.
I will say one thing I loved about this movie though is the montages. There were so many dance or like frustration montages that I just loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because this is the storytelling they're doing with the montages
and the passing of time.
And this is Lily and Ray like being like, fuck it.
Yeah. Like, we're just going to have fun. And Jason's just around. There is a scene in there where he, like, tries to kill himself with a gun.
Sorry. Oh, my God. It was intense because, one, he just has the gun to his temple. And you're like, what is going to happen? And he clicks it, and obviously nothing happens. Like,
I thought he was going to kill himself.
Right? But then he puts bullets in the gun. And then puts it back up to his temple, and then it goes commercial break.
So he just like, it was practice?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah. Well, because he's really messed up about his mom dying and everything. And, like we said, he's not doing good.
He's not having a good time.
So in an attempt to, because they're getting all strung out on this party lifestyle, in an attempt to keep up the facade that Lily is perfect, she invites Ray and Jason over to her and her father's house for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dad misses Jason and wanted.
That's the pastor.
The pastor.
Yeah, and he's not happy about Ray though. He's really not a fan of Ray. Feels like Ray's a bad influence.
She shows up in her eye makeup and everything,
and they're kissing in front of him at the dinner table, which I felt was a little inappropriate. Ray,
who's kissing?
Ray and Jason are making out in front of Jason's father at the dinner table at dinner on a Wednesday night. Come on.
And he makes Ray say grace, and she's like, I'm not really religious. He's like, it doesn't matter, just speak from your heart.
Yeah.
And she says some stupid ass
I had the quote
wine.
because I loved it. I literally
it was really
loved
dumb.
the quote, and I wrote this down, and it goes, gratitude is the wine of the soul. Go on, get drunk on gratitude, not wine.
There you go. There you go.
That was
more
her.
And then I think that the dad said amen at the end or something.
I know. She goes, what did she goes? Thank you. And she goes, grace.
So she's just very out of her. She's very out of her element with the whole religion thing, which was very funny. But then the preacher, he starts picking on Ray, and he's like, I don't know if you're my son's age or my age because you just look that much of a tramp whore.
Jesus.
Yeah, and Jason's like, I didn't come here to be insulted by you, and you're insulting my woman, and we're out of here.
Where's your daughter at tonight? It is Wednesday night. Don't you have a child? And so she's staying with her boyfriend.
And he's like, that's good parenting. He's staying with a boyfriend.
A boyfriend?
He goes, how did that happen? And she goes, it's complicated. I don't really want to get into it, but I think it's best for now. And so he's like, you need to come to Jesus. Can I lay hands on you?
Yes.
And she's like, no.
So they get the hell out of there because they get in a big fight. And on the way home, Jason snorts heroin.
Yeah. Ray did not want this, though, so I will give her that. Ray was like,
snorts
no.
It?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so he hasn't gotten into injecting yet. So that's, we're not there.
I'm sorry. He snorts EDMA. He crushed out the pill and sniffed it. It might have not been heroin.
I knew it was heroin. We discovered later.
Okay.
Heroin.
Look, I don't know how you do heroin. I thought you put it in your toes.
You do. But before you put it in your toes, you can't snort it.
You can do it anyway.
Yeah.
You could do any other drug.
Economical, I hear, to snort it.
Right.
But just smoke it.
Well,
if you're gonna do heroin, smoke it.
He's suicidal. Okay, so
put it in your veins,
he just wants to get heroin in his body as fast as possible.
Put it in
Ray
your nose, bro.
used to do heroin.
Right.
And she's like, I'm done with that, with my life. And so she's trying to get him to stop, and he won't stop.
Yeah, he can't.
And he's driving also.
He's driving. Yeah, he's like on the steering wheel, snorting heroin off the steering wheel when he's driving. Pretty much.
Literally.
Was
he puts it on his the.
Yeah, he's literally driving a car.
What's this part of your hand called?
I don't know. Your thumb.
The
flat part.
The thumb fat part, and he's like. Yeah, while he's driving. So that's what happens.
So
good
then
on you,
we find out.
So safety. She's like, calm down.
That something happens. It's deliberately not shown.
Yeah.
At all.
Which makes this movie more confusing.
But also more interesting.
Okay. But yes, we'll get to it. But anyway, so he dies in a mysterious thing that we don't know. It's on a bridge. Something happened with a car. And a bridge. Okay. So, okay?
I can imagine what that would be.
We'll see.
Okay.
We don't know.
And then Ray,
Ray
is also injured and in the hospital now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the preacher and Lily go to see Ray at the hospital, and they're like, "What happened?" And she's like, "I don't remember. He died, and it's my fault, and I'm sorry." Mm-hmm. And then Lily gets mad, right?
No, but Lily gets she's very comforting. She's lays her head on her lap and it's it's okay. I know he was troubled. We're going to work through this. Mm-hmm. Lily reunites her with her daughter and gives her Jason's car.
She's not mad yet. She gets mad later.
Later, when she realizes more to the story.
Yes. Oh. So she's nursing Ray back to health. Mm-hmm. Scarlett, she's mothering Scarlett, picking up from school. And
Lily is doing this.
Yeah, because Ray had said, I want to make a change in my life. I want to turn over a new leaf, and I feel like you can help me do that. Please help me do this.
Yes, sure. And Ray's so thankful because she doesn't have anybody in her life.
No one. She has no friends.
She had Jason pretty much, the twin. Mm-hmm. And that was the one friend she had.
Yeah, that was it. She's a lonely woman.
She just robbing the cradle.
Yeah.
get love wherever you can get love. That's kind of my motto, right?
Even from a cradle.
Let's not do that.
No.
But okay.
Anyways, so then we go to Jason's funeral, and the preacher banned Ray from coming to the funeral for some reason. Because she's a bad influence.
She's a bad influence. She's a reason why his son died.
That's not very Christian of it.
But
no, right?
Well, exactly. Lily meets Ray and Scarlett in the parking lot, and she's like, "Hey, you guys should just come in. It'll be fine. Like, you're my guests, and just come in."
Mm-hmm.
So she goes and she gives like a beautiful speech. Lily does, because she's the perfect daughter.
Yeah.
And she just like is like, "I loved my brother, and Jesus, he's with Jesus now. Jesus, take the wheel. Don't do heroin on the wheel while you're driving." She said that, and then. Carrie Underwood came out and she's like, "Jesus, take the wheel, but don't do heroin while you're driving." Yes.
That's a song.
Yeah, can we just, if I have any listeners who can make that happen.
But try to not do heroin on the wheel.
Yes.
Jesus is driving.
Good message.
Yeah, great message.
And then, for some reason, it's Ray's turn to talk.
No, but what it does, what we don't see before then, though, is Lily, right before the funeral, they get the toxicology report. The dad and Lily do, and they realize that heroin was in his bloodstream when he died.
Okay.
So they blame Ray for putting him on heroin. Mm-hmm. So they arrive. Lily's acting all fake nice to Scarlett and fake nice to Ray. And so Ray's like, Lily's like, "You're going to join our congregation, right?" And so Ray's like, "I am not ready for this all Christian lifestyle to be put upon me. Mm-hmm. I need to go to the bathroom." She goes to the bathroom and starts popping her pain pills and gets a little loopy. And so they're like, "Now it's your turn to speak." And she goes up there and cannot walk straight.
She like falls on the podium.
Literally.
She like tries to speak and it does that like thing where the camera goes all like
loopy,
swirly.
and it's like bright lights and she can't handle it. It's like super sad. And she's like, "I love him and I don't know why this happened.
And I don't know what."
Yeah, literally, I think she gagged a little bit up there.
And the congregation is like very judgmental.
They're gasping. They're gasping at everything she says.
I mean, I would be.
Like, literally, she could like just like move a little and I was like,
yeah, literally. It was like, "Oh God, is she going to die? Is she going to fall? Is she going to vomit? Is she going to break into song? We don't know."
And she's like, "That's not how this works. I'm fine.
I'm just high, guys.
Really
Have you never
high.
been high on love and Jesus before?"
Right.
Same thing.
Yes.
Really nervous about speaking in
Jesus.
public.
So Ray, I almost said Jesus. Ray can't keep it together anymore, and her and Scarlett are fighting because now Scarlett has bought into this congregation, and she is like about it.
She loves Lily. Her and Lily have bonded. So now she's like,
now she goes to youth group. Okay. What is it called?
It's called like Free Circle or like Freedom Circle.
So she goes to that now, and
every Wednesday night.
Ray's like very paranoid. She's like, "You're spending more time with Lily than you are with me, and I don't like this youth pastor school or whatever it's called, and you need to stop."
Yeah. And Lily is acting weird towards Ray. So she blames her, like, "Oh, you got him on heroin." And she's like, "I didn't do this." But so she's like, "I want to ban my daughter from seeing."
Right. So she bans Scarlett, which of course never works.
Never. You don't ban a
teenager. Because then Scarlett goes behind her back.
You don't ban a teenager.
Yeah.
You never ban a teenager from anything.
No. You just say, "Please do heroin," and they won't do it.
Yeah, be like, "No, do heroin. I want to see it."
Do it.
They'd be like, "No, never."
Yeah, you hit that arm. Get ready.
So I'll do it with you.
Yeah, let's tie a tie around here.
Oh, I don't want to do heroin with you.
Exactly.
That's not cool anymore.
Right?
With Scarlett banned from youth group or whatever,
church circle,
Lily takes it very personal and she hooks up with the co-pastor of the church circle, Todd, and she like goes to his house. They're like getting freaky.
This wasn't the church, the youth kitchen?
Pastor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like a youth pastor.
Ray does?
No, Lily does, because Scarlett didn't show up, and she's like she was like making Scarlett her daughter or something weird.
She's very
so
upset.
she takes it very personally, and then she goes back to her wild side and like, fuck this dude.
They go to the side of the church and they close the like.
This guy looks like he's 12.
Yeah,
he is 12. Well,
he's
and
the
he's
youth
like
pastor.
The sweet one too. He's like trying to ask her out at every moment, and she's like, "Can you leave me alone?" And then she goes, "I'm sorry. Actually, come with me. I'm gonna get on top of the counter, that thing that girls do when they're like ready and they spread their legs and they just pull you in.
They hike up their skirt and that whole thing.
And she's making out, but she's also having flashbacks while they're making out of like her wild days and like her brother. So she feels very conflicted.
Her with a Polaroid taking a selfie.
And it's like, she's like, I can't do this. And she runs off.
And what, like while she's
making out with him. Yeah. They're not having sex. But it is hot. It is hot and heavy. I was like, ooh. I got a little excited.
Actually, I'm going to pour up some more wine because it's time to get so hot and heavy. But no, so then she like runs away and she's like having flashes of her dead mom because she's the one who discovered the body. So,
she's having a crisis.
She's not in a good place, basically.
No, I guess not.
And then... Wait, what happens? Oh, so Scarlett is like not listening that like Lily is kind of crazy and stuff.
Not at all.
Okay. And she like she steals Ray's car, goes to the church, and then Lily's giving a sermon, right?
Yeah, Lily's giving a sermon.
Wait, she's giving a sermon?
Oh, wait, no. But before, then they have like did they have the baptism before? Or
no,
after?
That's after.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Lily's giving a sermon.
She's giving like a sermon, and Ray shows up at the church, and she's like, "Get the fuck out of here, Scarlett! Like I told you, this is not a thing. Like we need to go."
Because they're moving away. Like Ray is so upset by the actions of Lily being just like creepy and trying to like gain possession of her daughter that she's like, we're leaving. Finish packing your room. Let's go. She steals the car. And so her mom has to take her motorcycle, which she could not drive previously because of her bad back. So it was difficult. That's a mother's love right there.
I think why it's so confusing. Is because it's real, like based on a true story. They tried to make it super exactly the way it happened. Yeah. Because this is it's confusing to the point where I'm like, oh wait, this had to have actually just happened. Yeah. Because otherwise no one could write this shit.
Well, we'll get to it because I have beef with the writers. Okay. So we'll get there. Yeah. But yes, I agree that based on a true story is not always a good thing. If it's Lorena Bobbitt's story, she cuts off the dick. And she throws it in the trash.
Rightfully so. Cut dicks off.
And then we know what happens. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. But this is so confusing.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
There you go.
Just don't know if you've all heard that phrase.
God wrought?
Yes.
Do not.
Speaking of
fuck with a woman.
Religious epitaphs or whatever it's called, Lily accuses Ray of being a devil woman and a murderess.
And she goes to her dad. Okay, this was a beautiful scene in my mind. She goes to her dad and she starts crying and she's like, Dad, you were right. She is Satan's vagina. You're right. And so her dad's like, I told you this was going to happen. You can't play the victim now. Get on your knees and go to church and put your head to the ground. What? Literally. And I was like, whoa.
Yes.
Whoa, we are.
So it's getting the very religious, very scary part of religion, right? Mm-hmm. Speaking of scary part of religion, Ray comes to this baptism that's happening in a river. Yes. And Lily is baptizing Scarlett, to, I don't know,
begin a new life. Now that you've taken Jesus into your life and your Lord and Savior, you now want to cleanse your soul.
Her daughter is getting baptized
by Lily. And she's like, the power of Christ compels you, or whatever.
Whatever you say. Or whatever you say when you get baptized.
She goes, with the power of Christ. Actually, it's not quite that,
no,
but
that's the exorcist.
No, that's an exorcism.
But I mean, no, it's like with the love of Jesus, it's like the Lord's Prayer. Something about
and she dips her in the water.
With the love of Jesus, we now drown you in water.
Each person, she gets a little more crazy. That's one thing I will love about this like performance is she gets crazier and crazier the more people that she dunks in the water.
Wait, who does?
Lily. And she's holding people under the water for longer periods of time.
Oh, where it's going like.
Yeah, and her dad's like, Lily, bring him up. And she's like, Jesus would want me to do this.
Oh, of course.
Jesus is cleansing their soul. It's fine.
But of course, when it gets to Scarlett, she's full revved up. And she's like, she keeps saying, the power of Christ compels you, dunk. Mm-hmm. The power of Christ compels you, dunk. The power of Christ compels you. That's not what she says.
Dunk and hold. She holds.
And holds. And
she's not trying to.
She basically is trying to exercise her.
No, she's literally trying to drown her. I was like, oh, this girl has.
And Ray
snapped.
comes up and she's like seeing Lily drowning her daughter. And she's like,
and she's just like,
no, but everyone also was like very conscious of this because the preacher dad is like, Lily, she's done. You've already dunked her once. Like, let's move on. And she's like, no, there's more sin in her. Let me put her down. And she's like down there for a solid at least like 20 seconds.
She's like coming up for air. She's like gasping for breath. Like,
but I thought Jesus help me. I thought this would be way easier.
Yeah.
She was scared. And
she was scared.
Yeah, so Scarlett and Ray run away to the truck and they go home.
Yeah, but then they go back to the church. And then this is when Lily's giving the sermon. You're right. I did jump. And she starts chanting like eye for an eye and pulls out a gun on the congregation.
This is the day of the dedication of this like new church circle, whatever the building is called where the youth people meet. I mean, we're going to call it
anything
the
that
church
in circle is probably not.
Yeah.
This is probably the true part of the story.
Yeah, they're dedicating this to her mother who committed suicide and her brother who died.
Okay. Maybe
we don't know what happened.
We'll find out in a flashback in a moment.
And so she's saying all these beautiful words about them, and it's like, what a great day. And then Ray comes storming in.
She gets her daughter.
Come and sit down next to your daughter.
Yeah.
She's like, eye for an eye, motherfucker. Pulls out the gun. And everyone's like, oh my God, a gun. And
yeah, oh my God, what?
Yeah, but then somehow...
Wait, Lily pulls out the gun.
Lily pulls out the gun, and then Ray and Lily start wrestling for the gun.
No one helps them, by the way.
It's
like, I'm so confused.
I mean, I wouldn't.
No, but like, at a certain point, okay, I get that.
Like, I wouldn't.
I get that point.
Like, no, they're
doing their own thing.
I'm going to get
But at a certain point, Ray actually kicks the gun out of her hand so it's far away, and then they're wrestling. And like, why did anyone separate them? Or go get the gun before they got it back?
Yes. So, of course, the gun goes off while they're wrestling with the gun. Of course. And who dies?
Who do you think died?
I'm going to say Scarlett dies.
Wrong.
Scarlett wasn't wrestling. So it's Ray and Lily.
Out of those two?
That would have been, if we were making this movie better, that's what should have happened.
Exactly. Do unto others, because an eye for an eye is like, my brother died, so I'm going to make your daughter die. I'm going to let you live through life and
even
suffer
if it was
an accident.
Or if it just like whatever if it was just a random accident thing.
Yes, and then they both reaped what they sowed.
Karmic.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, the daughter.
Your daughter has to die.
Since it's based on a true story,
it's real life.
Ray dies because I killed my BFF. So apparently they were best friends.
Right? That's what I was also confused about. This is not your best friend. And also, this is your best friend. This is the standard of best friend. That's very low. So you just need to meet someone for... Also, in the very beginning of the movie, they say 6 months earlier. So they do the blood-soaking girl 6 months earlier. So you have a best friend in this time span that you... I could... If you add up all the days, it was probably 24 days. So.
Yes.
I mean, I appreciate Lifetime doing the like...
It could have been done so much better.
Start you out.
Yes.
We're going to tell you what happens.
And then now we're going to
Memento.
Well, and they do that a lot, but this wasn't done well.
No.
We'll get to it. We're almost done. Let's wrap it up really quick, and then we'll jump into our critiques because we are short on time. While being held at gunpoint, I missed this part. Ray tells Lily that Jason killed himself.
Yes, he
jumped off the bridge.
Mm-hmm. So he jumped.
It
jumped on
It
top.
wasn't Ray's fault.
Yeah,
It was he couldn't take it, and he jumped off the
bridge. He's like, my father just leaves. I'm in a cage. No one can live truthfully at all times of their life and live this Christian lifestyle that you just really can't. Walk the line 100% all the time.
Yeah,
I love how you're just like, it's like for reals. This is like good motivation to fucking end it.
I don't think that he should have ended it. I don't believe in suicide. But I am very, I am very passionate about this because when I saw this and he's just like, I can't do it anymore. My dad is driving me insane. I'm in so much pain. And Ray is literally just like, no, I am here.
No, stop.
Don't. Down. And he's like, no, I'm done. And he just jumps in. He jumps in, and then she runs around the bridge and goes in on the ground and tries to get him.
And that's how she hurts herself.
And that's how she hurts himself. Probably because it's
why didn't she, in the first place, just like say like, motherfucker jumped off the bridge. I tried to help him.
Because it's a movie, and they're trying to like...
And they're Christians, so if he commits suicide, then like that...
He goes to hell.
That just like...
True.
You know,
So-
we have a
true.
double suicide in the family. Mom committed suicide, brother committed suicide. Then it's not so much like
But
what's
Ray's
wrong with
not-
them. It's like what's wrong with the rest of you that are
Yep.
alive.
Okay,
Yep.
but Ray's not though. She's not religious, so
No.
she would
No.
immediately be like, "Fucking hey, police!"
But here's the thing, Drew. You're adding too much
Logic.
I know.
because the writers added
I'm
no
sorry.
logic. So
I apologize for
really
Yeah,
quick,
too much logic.
really
This
quick.
is not.
Lily goes to jail. She's delivering a sermon in jail, the same sermon as her dad delivering in church, which is some type of commentary on something. The end.
That's it.
Okay. Yes, I want to talk a little bit about the writers.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of where Drew's beef is coming from, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's also a writer-director team. So these guys, their names are Danny Abel and Blake Barris.
Abel, like Cain and Abel.
Yes,
Get it,
Blake
guys, read
Barris
into
was
it.
in Wrong Swipe. He was the creepy guy in Wrong Swipe. You weren't on that episode, Drew. But
know, yeah.
he's primarily an actor who became a writer, right?
Okay.
And then there's also the director, Seth Jarrett, who they've all worked on the BFF movie before. They all have like 3 credits on their IMDb's.
Yeah.
So these are like actors who are like trying to like make like a production company or something. And like they
Sure.
just don't necessarily like when you're an actor turned writer, you're a little too self-involved to like see the big picture.
I see
And I
that.
think that's like what this movie is like missing. It's like it's saying it's based on a true story. I did some like research because Bustle, the website Bustle, the like feminist website or like female website, they actually take every Lifetime movie and dissect like
Oh, really?
if it's based on a true story or not.
Oh, that's amazing.
love it. What did they say?
Couldn't find anything based
Like
on
public.
This. Nope. They were
I
like,
think
it might
also
be based on
a
something,
true
but
story like isn't real. I think everyone says. I feel like it's Fargo.
If-
you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, I feel like
you can say
You can say
honestly,
anything.
you can
say that.
based on a true story
And it's
because
not real.
the term
story is not life
is
facts.
Anyone
It's
who tells the
it's
story.
made up things.
Exactly.
So I don't think this is anything that's actually. I mean, happened in the world. It's
The-
like, oh wait,
It's-
did someone
but
die
you-
in the world?
But you
Someone
do
died.
have to look at
Does
based-
Christianity
it's-
exist?
It's
Okay.
based
Yes.
on true events is a different thing.
Yeah.
You
True
you have to have
story.
a certain thing with that. Like if you claim based on certain events, it is literally actually based on recorded events. Based on a true story, literally can just be someone fucking
Told you a
telling
story.
a story.
Yeah.
But
And
the
that's why they can
first-
do that with like horror movies and that kind of stuff. Is like based on a true story.
I love that though.
Like someone said this.
Like The Strangers. That's just so good.
yeah, right. Yeah.
But I Can Be a BFF original 2015 movie was based on a true story about a woman named Anna Marie Camp who was like literally killed by her best friend. So they wrote that one as well.
So that was based on true events.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that the title of this movie was just like Lifetime kind of getting this brand going for the I Kill My BFF brand.
Yeah.
It's really more. I
And-
killed my brother's sort of girlfriend.
Exactly.
I killed an acquaintance that I hung out with like 6 times.
Yes.
And took
The
and
title
been
EDMA
that would have been a
with.
better.
the
right?
title's a disservice to the movie, and then the movie is not really delivering on what it's coming up with at the
Yeah,
front.
not at all.
You know?
Not at all.
I felt things though, guys. I'm not. Gonna lie.
Oh,
No, there's
absolutely.
no shade. So let's do on the podcast. We either put a cork in it or pour it up. So what are you going to do to this movie?
I'm gonna pour it up. Honestly, like.
Yeah.
I just really I connected with a lot of these things. I was like, these people are struggling with so much suicide in the family. They're struggling with finding their identity.
Yeah.
They're struggling with, growing up and knowing who they are and their religion and a mother with, not knowing how to parent a child and dealing with their own demons and addiction. So I just felt like it's been a hot minute since I've seen a Lifetime movie that I grew up watching these and revisiting something that was cherished so much in my childhood. I was like, this is actually something that I
Like, they're
literally
still
enjoyed.
going.
It's still
They're still
going.
doing it.
And I connected. And the fact that it was a girl from Popular, I was like, oh, I'm already hooked
Yeah,
in.
she's a good
I got a
actress.
familiar face, and she was acting the shit out of that. So
Yes.
I'm gonna
Okay.
pour this the fuck up.
Okay.
Awesome. Drew?
Blind. I was in the put a cork in it area.
Mm-hmm.
But because the actors in it,
yes,
I feel for them. I feel like they're like, what? The whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to do it. And I will always shit on a director or a writer way before I would an actor.
Right.
Actors are just, we're like, man.
We're vessels, you know, man?
Be like, we'll do our fucking best, you know?
Yeah.
And you guys are saying, like, the acting's pretty good.
They were good.
I'm going to pour it up for the actors in the movie. I'm gonna say what I normally say to the directors. Fuck yourself.
Yes.
But the actors.
Okay.
Good job, guys.
Yes. You're pouring it up.
Things,
but
you're good.
I am going to put a cork in it for the very reason you're saying, because these writers, I don't know, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, it's all men writing this.
That's what I was about to ask. I didn't know who, if it was women or men who wrote this.
I would love to have a female involved if we're talking about BFFs.
BFFs and like struggling with like motherhood and struggling with addiction. Can we not like have a woman in the room and be like, hey, no, nobody does this.
This movie lacked a female perspective.
Totally.
I think that if they just had one woman in the room as on the writing staff, it could have solved a lot of problems.
Yeah. No, I see what you got.
And also, I want to know who directed all these fucking montages. Like, there was so many montages.
There were.
I mean, there was just
a lot of like flashy
then I'm
montages.
Very solid on Pour It Up.
Yeah, I also like a good montage.
There were like 8 in this, and
it was very stylistic.
Very stylistic.
The more montages, the better.
Set the chair.
It also that's like the passing of time. Now we know what's happening. Okay.
Yeah.
4 days have passed. Good. You're all hungover.
Great.
Okay, I get it.
Hey.
I get it.
Yes. So that wraps up our conversation of I killed my BFF, preacher's daughter, / do unto others. Many, many, many titles. Before we go, we have my favorite segment. Wait, I don't have a Lifetime one. I don't need to do that. This is a Lifetime one. So for my B segment today, I haven't really figured out what I'm doing for the Lifetime B segment, but for today, we got a shout out on a cool podcast.
Love it.
Which is very exciting. The podcast is called I Want to Wear Your Skin.
Ooh, I love it.
And they cover exclusively Lifetime movies. So we do a little bit of Hallmark, a little bit of Lifetime, but they are only Lifetime.
They're only Lifetime.
They got the membership to the Lifetime Movie Club app.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna like run through all those movies on the app, which is a brilliant idea because most people just stream the movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm probably, my demographic is like 40-year-olds. I think they're going for like the younger demographic who's like streaming shit.
Yeah.
What's streaming?
Who knows what demographic?
Yeah, what's streaming? I don't know what it is.
Who knows what demographic?
But that's great. So they're covering movies on the app for the next year.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, good call.
And I'm gonna play a little clip.
They're fun.
I'm going to play a clip. They are very fun.
Yep.
And then we'll talk a little bit about them. So here's the clip of them shouting out us on their podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
This is great.
Very meta.
Before we begin, we have discovered there is yet another podcast that drinks and watch Lifetime and sometimes Hallmark movies. Mm-hmm. What was it called?
It was called Lifetime Uncorked.
That's right.
It's a great name.
Fantastic.
Great name. And it's led by Patrick Serrano with his quote-unquote sidekick, Drew Bear.
Sidekick.
And they have alternating guests each episode as they review a Hallmark or a Lifetime TV movie.
I have not listened to it yet. I learned about this right before we watched the movie that we're going to talk about today. But there's space for all of us. We'll say that yet again.
Yeah.
Right?
So they talk a little bit about like how there's like lots of Lifetime movies. I'm going to just like 15 seconds forward because then they do talk a little bit more about us.
Yeah, because you're important.
I mean,
right? Let's hear all the amazing things about Patrick.
Oh my God, that would be incredible. But it would just be a podcast of me being like, I love this.
They're going off on like a tangent.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
I did, however, listen to a little bit of their podcast. It's super funny. They have a great voice, and they're comedians working out of the Chicago area. So definitely subscribe to their podcast and check them out and support Lifetime, y'all.
Yes.
Man, thanks,
Let's
guys.
support Lifetime.
That's awesome.
That's the moral of the story. Support
support Lifetime.
And Hallmark movies.
We're getting Oh man,
are they giving a kickback to this? Have we gotten that?
No, it's a conspiracy.
So I Want to Wear Your Skin is the podcast. The hosts are Jill and Kayla, and they drink wine coolers, is what they say on the
That's
podcast.
Fun. I haven't had a
fun.
wine cooler since I went to college.
They were talking about like seltzer, the new like seltzer wine coolers that are like really low cal, low carb.
Yeah,
they're pretty good actually.
That sounds delicious.
But we drink rosé on the podcast.
Exactly, I'm about this rosé.
And I got the good rosé for Alex.
You got the cupcake. You got the cupcake rosé, y'all.
I did.
And he turned it up for me, and I appreciate this. It was
this
so
episode
lovely.
is sponsored by Cupcake Wine. Just kidding, it's not.
No,
I don't care.
I'm working on sponsors.
2017 California.
Christmas.
Baby.
For Christmas. And they also, the I Want to Wear Your Skin podcast, they were talking about, you get like a blanket when you get the Lifetime Movie Club.
Ooh.
So you can snuggle up with your blanket. Bitches,
Sounds
I already
wonderful.
got that blanket.
What?
I got
you
that
a
blanket.
VIP, baby.
Yeah, you got
That's
it.
right.
You know what's up.
I got that blanket like months ago. No, it's funny. Really, that blanket's not that great. It's like fleece and disgusting.
Yeah, it's
and
gross.
I have it at work because I'm really cold at work all the time.
Me too. Why is work always cold?
It's terrible.
Seriously.
I mean, I'm fine at work.
Okay, well, just
Don't you
leave.
work from
Yeah.
home sometimes?
So that's why
Yeah,
you have
I work from
adjusted the temperature to your liking.
That's right.
But we have to deal with thousands of other people.
Yes. Well, Alex, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's
I'm
wonderful.
definitely having you back.
Oh my god, I love that. I feel so. Ooh.
We'll talk off air.
Okay, we'll
You're a
talk.
pro.
You're wonderful,
but
guys.
thank you. Is there any thing you'd like to plug or your social media?
Yeah,
or
so
anything?
I have an indie improv team called Branson. We are doing a show at the Playground, Silly Point Sundays. That will be the 13th. Is that a Sunday? The 13th, yeah. That's not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday at, I believe it's at 8 p.m. And then the Women of Branson will be performing at Laugh Out Loud Theater come the May 16th. So check us out. The show, I believe, is also at 9 p.m. And I'm around town doing sketch, doing some improv. I'm hanging out. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Drew, where can we find you?
You can find me just at my little Instagram home.
Ooh, that's fun.
Drew, but with pants.
Oh,
wonderful.
I gotta get an Instagram for that reason.
It's true. I mean, Drew without pants is what I want to see.
Well,
just saying.
That was my previous one.
Yeah, I think on a podcast we said we were going to do a podcast with no pants. I'm still waiting for that, Joe.
I'm down. Can I please be on that podcast?
All right. See, when you come back as a special guest,
no pants.
we won't wear pants.
No pants. Yeah. I think it's important for people to feel free. You know, we're in your home. Let's feel free.
You guys can not wear pants if you don't want to.
Okay, I'm taking my pants off right now. For everyone who's not listening, they're literally off.
There you go.
If that's your jam.
We're doing it. I feel so much better. It's summertime officially. Well, spring.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies so you don't have to, but if you do, we'd love to hear from you. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Emojis, 5 stars, please.
Yes.
And check out our website, lifetimeincourt.com. Okay, that's it.
That's
Bye.
it. Bye.
Bye.